Ben Stokes, 5 days ago we spoke and I said to you that India have lost 3 games in the last 45 here and it was going to be tough. Well, you've knocked that on the head. You beat them in 4 days and you've done it coming from 190 runs down on first innings. Wow, what a performance.
Yeah, I mean, well, tough. That was tough. You know, we had to be incredibly tough as a team, tough as individuals to allow us to be standing here talking in this manner. You know, coming away from here with the victory, just incredible. You know, going into our second innings with the bat being 190 runs behind, that's a very, very tough ask to be stood here now, especially against India, given, you know, their unbelievable record in home conditions. So, yeah, look, it's been an unbelievable 4 days. Couldn't be more proud of what we've managed to go there and achieve, and, you know, obviously some amazing and special individual performances. You know, Ollie Pope and Tom Hartley, obviously the standouts there. But yeah, look, it's got to enjoy moments like this. 4 more games left. You know, we know we've still got a very, very tough ask on our hands.
Has it sunk in yet? We're half an hour or so after the final wicket has gone down. This is going to take some time to genuinely settle in for you to realise just what's happened.
I think myself, the sort of, personality and character I am, I feel like I'm quite good at staying pretty level as a person through, whether that be personal performances, team performances, and because, you know, obviously my main goal is what I think is the best for the team. And yeah, look, I've got 4 more games to try and get the best out of this team, try and get the best out of the individuals, and as long as I can keep doing that, that's what I'll try and focus on. But there's no doubt that I know what we've achieved, but, you know, as I said before, I know we've still got 4 games left.
You've played in some incredible test matches. If we're having a sliding scale, how high is this one up on that list?
Since becoming captain, this is number 1, given where we were in the game, who we played against. And yeah, just don't want to say inexperience because it makes it sound like that's one of the, like, a very, very vital thing, but I just think it's character, skill, and desire to win. I think are unbelievable traits that you need at the international level, and that's certainly what we've got out here. So yeah, look, I'm incredibly proud that I'm sort of trying my best to be able to bring everybody's talent out with them as much as I possibly can, without fearing or worrying about what repercussions could be like if things don't go well. I think Tom Hartley's a great example of that throughout this test match. Obviously, a tough first innings with the ball, but he just kept on coming back. You know, that shows unbelievable character. He ends up walking away with 7 for in the 4th innings and 9 for the match. So that's a very, very, very impressive debut.
And I don't know if you know, that's actually the 2nd best figures by an England spinner on debut, the 7-fer. That's a heck of as you say, a turnaround from the first innings.
Yeah, and I guess I guess it shows that allowing and giving people confidence to, I don't know, just back themselves and showing them that, you know, I picked you because I believe in you, goes a long way. And if you just keep coming back the next ball, you let what's gone go, focus on what's coming next, you know, it's amazing what you can achieve.
A word about Ollie Pope, back into the side after injury, and that 196, unfortunately he couldn't get the double 100, but it was worth so many more than 196 to the team.
Yeah, well, I think it's pretty, you know, he'll go, I got 196 in India, and they'll be like, how'd you get out? Did you like nick one off or get bowled through the gate? I think it's pretty cool. You can say, no, I tried to reverse sweep Jasprit Bumrah and got bowled. So, but no, look, I've said it a couple of times already, but I've been, you know, lucky enough to witness some amazing Joe Root innings in subcontinent conditions. That's number 1. That was just amazing where we were in the game, the way in which he played on that wicket. You know, no one sort of knew. I don't think anyone had a real understanding of how to properly go about it, but the way in which Ollie committed to what he wanted to do, I think, is the most impressive thing. And look, it's been against Ashwin, Jadeja, Akshar Patel. That's very, very, very special knock.
Just finally, you've touched on it a couple of times. This is only match number 1 of a 5-match series. Now it's about following it up. 4 years ago in the COVID series, of course, you won the first and then lost the next 3. Great to get 1, but it's only 1.
Yeah, it's only 1. But look, we'll be taking the same attitude, the same mindset into every game this series, and then every game in every other series in the future. That's all I can ask of the team. You know, before before we started the series, obviously coming on the back of a very, very successful 2 years, sometimes as an individual and as a team you can start to expect results. But one thing I asked of everyone here was just, can we stick to the process without being emotionally attached to the outcome? And that's what I want us to keep focusing on for the rest of this tour, and then obviously however long I've got this amazing job.
Tom Hartley, congratulations, 7 for 62 in the second innings to bowl England to a Test match victory. How does that feel?
It's not going to sink in for a while. That obviously being on debut, you don't quite understand how much a Test win is, but getting a feeling what these other lads is, that they don't come every day, so it'll be cherished for a long time.
Does the second innings feel even more special because it was hard going in the first innings for you?
Yeah, obviously, but as the game went on, obviously it spun a lot more, which came into my favour, and it was just a case of being as relaxed as possible, and that comes from the dressing room, to be honest. And I was able to put on a great performance because they got me in the right mindset. Obviously, tough starting. That was a tough first innings, to be honest with you. I was a bit down, but the boys got around me, and I was able to do that because of them, to be honest.
Can we wind the clock back about 5 days before the start of the game? You obviously got told you were playing a couple of days beforehand and told you would bowl the first over, the opening over. How did you feel then? It was like, this is my debut and I'm going to be straight in bowling when England get a go.
Yeah, Baz told me and I thought he was taking the piss, to be honest with you. I was like, and then I realised we only had one seamer playing, so I was like, all right, that's fair enough. But it was fantastic. I think if you want to get into the game, get into it straight away. The nerves were gone after the first couple of overs. Obviously got hit around a bit, but you just got to understand on debut they're going to come after you, and for me it was about how I was going to bounce back, and I thought I did that really well.
So it wasn't a question, do you fancy the first over? It was, you're having the first over.
Yeah, I think it was put in a joking way, sort of, you're having the first over with a laugh, and I was like, okay, yeah. But I've done it in white ball cricket before, so it's nothing different for me.
Let's look at the match itself. After the first innings, England are down by 190. If we're honest, no one really thought that they would maybe win, but let's be competitive, let's take a few with us. When did you genuinely start to think, boys, this is on?
Yeah, when Popey probably got around 100s, and we were probably about 30 behind, about 5 down. We sort of like Stokesy just got out, and you kind of tell like, can we survive the day, whatever. But no, watching Popey bat like that gave us so much confidence, and then gave us tail enders really an idea of how to go about it with the sweeps, the reverse sweeps, and he was fantastic, to be honest with you, and he really deserves everything he's going to get this series.
It's been a crazy day, but it felt the adrenaline was just building and building and building, and it was a case of when, not if. That must be an incredible feeling to be out on a field knowing that.
Yeah, there's always so much confidence around the group, and when we got that 2 in the over, I was like, this is on here. Whatever they needed, 200 and something. It was going to be such a tough score, and I think that showed how well Popey played, to be honest with you. Because when I was batting out there and it was ragging past my outside edge, I was like, Jesus, I can't wait to bowl on this. And I just had to keep calm and really just put it in the right areas.
You are clutching a ball, you are clutching a stump. It's your first. You do know this isn't normal, don't you?
Not yet, but probably when I get the next test, we'll do, yeah.
Ollie, congratulations. An incredible Test match win, an incredible innings for yourself. How are you feeling?
Very happy we're over the line. I mean, I enjoyed yesterday. I walked off the pitch happy with how I played. But I mean, if you don't do it in a winning cause, it doesn't mean anywhere near as much. So to go over the line today is such a good feeling.
Let's look at the team thing first of all. To come to India and win a Test match is hard. You've just done it in 4 days, having been 190 behind on first innings. I mean, that's just not possible. That's not cricket.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we're trying to do. We're trying to sort of defeat all odds. And I think the way the management, Stokesy, sort of leads from the front in the changing room allows us to come from so far behind in the game. And I think what we've pulled off this week, we're going to really enjoy. I think it's probably not quite sunk in yet what we've done. Obviously, playing India, and India's they're a beast in their own on their own soil. So to come here and win the first test in the manner that we did is pretty special.
Your innings was obviously significant to get England back into this. Take me through that innings, because first innings it was hard going, it was scratchy, and the start of the second was, but the longer you spent at the crease, you could see the timing and the footwork just got more and more confident. Would that be fair?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, having not played in, I think, 7 months now, I think I probably did have some nerves there, and they were probably there in the second innings as well. And it's not nerves where you can sort of sharpen up here. You need to be pretty clear in how you want to go about scoring runs on these pitches when they're spinning. So you don't want to come in and just defend and look too calm, because there's probably going to be a ball with your name on it, especially early. So I wanted to try and sweep and reverse sweep and try and put a bit of pressure back onto the bowler. So I think that I just had the clarity and the mindset, and I started sort of executing my shots. I think the way I got it out in the first innings and the way I reacted from a personal point, I was actually really happy with. I was at peace with getting caught at slip, to be honest. I wanted to cover my inside, cover my pad, cover my stumps, and if I did have a ball that I nicked early on in my innings, I was fine with that. And I think that's what allowed me to sort of bounce back and put in a good performance in the second innings.
Talk to me about the preparation in Abu Dhabi. Could you play that innings today without what had happened in Abu Dhabi? You know, roughing up the old wickets, putting sand on. I mean, from what I've heard, the wickets there were so extreme. It was worse than what we would be here to make you almost feel comfortable here. Would that be fair?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's exactly why we chose to go to Abu Dhabi. I know there was a lot of chat about that before, and it's nice to prove some people wrong, but that's not my place to say it. But we've come and trained here for 3 days, and I've not really had a ball that spun in the nets, which is absolutely fine. You get to feel pretty good as a batter, but the training that we did in Abu Dhabi, the reverse ramps over the sort of first slip is what I sort of worked on out there and tried to work out and getting to face our bowlers as well for a long period in the middle. I think that's probably allowed us and me to go out and execute today, having been in a sort of pretty chilled out environment to work on these shots and try these shots, and that's exactly what we're about.
But a Dill scoop, I mean, against world-class bowling, I mean, one of them nearly took your own eyebrows off. I mean, it's confidence in the team and what they want you to do, but also confidence in your own ability.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wouldn't have played that shot again. Look, if I didn't try it in an open wicket scenario, if you do it in the nets when you haven't got a slip in place, and everyone's just going to go, oh, that looks like it's going to be out. But I sort of worked out the pace that these guys bowl, Axar and Jadeja. I know they put a lot of pace on the ball, so if I can get my angles right, then I will get it over the slip's head, and then it's just annoying for the captain if he's got to then move another man round, and that's going to open up a gap there. And I guess that's our mindset. Rather than worrying too much about our defence, is trying to see the scoring opportunities.
Is there any disappointment in you that you didn't get the double?
Yeah, of course. I don't really feel it at the minute. I think as a team we're not really about the numbers. I thought it'd be pretty cool to do it in style, and annoyingly Bumrah bowled me a slower ball, which is the worst possible ball, playing that ramp shot. But no, not really. I think I was trying to go about it in the right manner. I knew Leach was struggling a bit with his knee, so I had in mind I was going to do it, those few balls.
Well, as Stokesy just said, I mean, it's a story to tell the kids and the grandkids down the years, wasn't it? Oh, I got bowled by Bumrah trying to go on some reverse lap when I was 196 not out. Not everyone's going to be able to tell that story.
Yeah, exactly. That's how'd you get out on 196? It's not a nick-off trying to defend. At least I've done it in a bit of style. But yeah, you got to choose your times. I'd spent about an hour thinking about doing that before when Siraj was bowling as well. But I thought I'm going to wait until we're 8 or 9 down if I'm still there. And it just didn't come off. Hopefully I'll come off next time.
Just finally, I made this point to Ben as well, and he was keen to stress this. 4 years ago in the COVID series, England went 1-0 up and then lost the next 3. It's great. We've got to enjoy this moment. It's one of the great test matches of all time. But it's only 1-0 with 4 more to come, isn't it? It's like now the hard work really starts. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, we say hard work. We're having a lot of fun out there as well. Of course it's hard work, but I mean, we've done it probably in a better manner than we did that in that Chennai. I think when we won that first test, that was a big toss, and Ruti played a knock of just a Ruti knock. But of course, look, it's a 5-match series. We're going to enjoy this one, but we're not going to get ahead of ourselves, and we know we've got a big job to do for the next 4.